Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling and the Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and today we're going to be doing a what's in the box kit review on my TAMIYA 135 Panther Panzerkampfwagen 5 AUSF A, which is kit number 35065. And to help me along with this, as I like a beer, I'm going to be drinking this DAB Dortmunder Export, which I'm going to be wearing with my BVB Borussia Dortmund hat. I am a Liverpool fan, so I'm a bit of a Coppite and a Kloppite as well. So, without further ado, let's get this on the road. As per normal, I'm just going to read out some of the blurb from the instruction sheet. It's rather long, and I think some of it I can just basically skip out. So anyway, since 1943, during World War II, there appeared an unusually fast tank on the European front, the silhouetted among its German mechanised division. This was the Panther medium tank with its formidable power of attack and fast manoeuvrability that soon became an object of terror to men of the Allied forces. It put to question which was the best German tank during the war. The majority of people without hesitation will answer the name Panther. It is known that the Panzer VI and the Panzer Tiger II tanks were also produced by German technology and were both outstanding tanks, but the Panzer IV was meant to be replaced by the Panther, and the Panther, showing improved attacking and defensive powers and accurate manoeuvrability on the field, soon became the Germans' main strength tank. The Tiger I, with its 88mm gun, would seem at first to be superior to the Panther's 75mm gun in attacking power, but when viewed from the point of armour piercing power of the shell, the Panther with its 70 caliber KWK 42 anti-tank gun and sloping side armour provided much stronger in actual fighting than the Tiger I's 56 caliber KWK 36 anti-tank gun with vertical side armour. The Tiger II tank, which should be called the improved Panther, was much stronger in attacking and defensive power than the Panther. However, considering the number of Panthers produced and used during this time, the Panther tank was still number one. So I'm just going to leave it there because basically, I mean, a lot of these things you could just pick up on Wikipedia, and it does seem to actually go slightly more off on a tangent towards some of the later models, like the Type D and the Type G, which I'm going to be having a look at as well because I've got those kits. Basically, I'm looking at this particular kit because it's the easiest of the TAMIYA Panthers that are currently available on the market. It's also the cheapest. So what I'm actually intended to do is I'm going to review this one today. I'm going to review 35170 Type G tomorrow, and I'm going to review 35345 AUSF D the following day. And then what I'll probably try and do, which is kind of something I've not tried before, is to do a sort of compare the different kits and trying to see which one I like the best for the money, because as you may or may not know, this particular one you can pick up for around about £15. The Type G 35170 is around about 25 to 30, and the AUSF D 35345 is going to set you back 35 to 40. So there's a big difference. So it's kind of interesting to see why the difference is. I mean, when I bought these from a company called Fields of Glory models, and the prices were comparable to the prices that I'm taking from Jadland current prices, and I was actually a little bit confused as to why, but I just paid the money up and bought them at the end of the day. So it's going to be kind of an interesting little series, I hope. So I'm just going to have a quick slurp of my Dortmunder DAB, which, even though it isn't properly chilled, is rather tasty. So as per normal TAMIYA tanks, we get the set of flexible tracks. These ones I have noticed are different to the ones provided in the other kits, but they are what they are. They're flexible tracks at the end of the day. So we'll just put those to one side. You also get a basic set of decals, which gives you 3 tank number options: 223, 309 and 421. Couple of German crosses and a few other unit insignia. The first sprue that we're going to have a quick look at mainly concerns, I think, the turret. So you get the 75mm gun, you get the main turret here, you get a selection of these small sort of hooks and what have you that I believe are these things that are going on here. These look like steps. We've got the back plate of the turret. This is the base plate of the turret. Here we have the gun mantle, and yeah, I'm not too sure what those pieces are. This would be the commander's cupola, and we have a couple of machine guns. Now, one thing I have noticed about this particular kit as compared to the other ones is it does have a sort of mottled effect to the plastic. Now, I'm not quite sure whether this is supposed to simulate sort of foundry markings, or whether it's, I don't think it's supposed to simulate the sort of Zimmerit paint that they used to use. But this one is different quite noticeably in having these this sort of effect on the exterior of the chassis and the hull and the turret. So there we go, there's the first sprue out of the way. The detailing is good. It's not fantastic, as you'd probably expect. And there we go. So just as a quick look at the age of this particular kit, I mean, this is currently available. The original tooling for this was from 1968, and then it went through a series of box changes in 69, 72 and 88, and then had new parts added in 1990. Quite what the new parts are, I'm not exactly sure. I'm kind of guessing it's going to be to do with figures maybe, but whatever. This is the one that you can currently buy anyway. The next sprue is basically our road wheels, etc. And as we can see, they've all got sort of detail going on. It's all kind of basic, but it's there, which is what you actually want. All these pieces basically sort of fit together to make these road wheels, which are sort of one at the front, one at the back. So there we have that little section. And then we move on to this one, which also basically this is supposed to have this back plate on it as well, but I've removed this for a moment. As you can see, we get two figures here. I'm going to say that these figures are kind of bland and dull and pretty basic compared to other figures that I've seen, including later TAMIYAs. You get a standard array of tools. You get these cables as well, which I believe go on the actual back. Excuse me. And we get some extra tacks, which can be placed around, well, on the rear here or in alternate places. The rear plate here, as we can see, has got this sort of mottled foundry effect or whatever it is on it. Maybe it is the Zimmerit, I'm not quite sure. You've got an access port here, and it all looks pretty good at the end of the day. This small sprue, which is the next one, these are basically look like the wheel caps to go along here. So there's our sprues done, and now we're just going to basically have a look at the actual body itself. So I kind of find the body interesting because the body is the most obviously different part when you compare the three Tamiya Panthers that are currently largely available. There are a few other different ones as well, sort of special editions and radio control versions, but these are the three main 135s. So basically this one, as you can see, again, we've got this sort of mottled effect going on the plastic. We've got these vents here for the engine, I assume, to try and keep it cool. We've got a nasty chunk in the middle that we need to get rid of. We've got the front fenders attached. We've got some detail here. This is where the machine gun comes out. We've got, like, I think, a viewer's port for the driver, and we've got two hatches here as well. This piece that I've actually got off here, obviously that goes on the back, something like that. Seems to fit quite well. And obviously this then goes on to the base, like so. Now, just as a something like that. It goes on like that anyway. Now, what I've actually noticed when I've been having a quick nose at these is probably the main drawback of this particular kit is there's no actual finishing going on up here. When this is sort of put together, like so, there's quite a big ugly exposed gap here where you can actually see what's going on inside, which isn't really that appealing, but this is what was, you know, this is the earliest version available, and that was what you got at the time. The later versions do actually have all this boxed off. So, I mean, obviously that's probably why we're getting this one for £15 and the other ones are getting sort of 25 to 35, £40. So there's a real hint as to why this one, in my opinion, is cheaper and the other kits are more expensive and therefore acceptably better. So yeah, there we go. Now, as we can see on the bottom here, we've actually got an imprint for TAMIYA Mokai Plastic Model Co. 1969. So that gives us the exact date of the first production moulding of this particular kit. So there we go. That's basically a quick rundown of this. Now, what I'm actually planning to do is, because I haven't actually built a 135 armour kit in my current modelling state, as a novice or whatever you want to call me modeller, I've decided this looks to me to be a pretty easy kit, and it's going to be pretty cool because everybody likes a Panther. So this is going to be the first 135 armour kit that I'm going to build. And I'm probably going to start it this evening, and it might take me a while to finish because I'm actually going back to work tomorrow night. But I'm going to have a go at building this because it looks easy, it's nice and cheap. If I make a mess of it, well, I make a mess of £15, and not the AUSF, which is sort of 35 to 40. So that's the plan. I'm going to have a quick another sip of my DAB or DAB. I'm going to say cheers, and I'm going to go off and do a review for the other one. So thanks for watching, and be seeing you.